Dices for race 2. The end of 150 kilometres, 39 laps is just around the corner for these guys. This is the middle of the group. You're looking at Johnson and Radicic, the two Shell Helix cars. Positions 8 and 9. John Bowers in 10th. Right behind him is Stephen Richards. They've been having a pretty good fight throughout the last couple of laps. Those 4 cars, they're all even for speed. And locked in behind Richards is Crompton and Jason Bright in positions 12 and 13.
These two have been at it for the whole race.
Yeah.
Bauer and Richards, and there's not much between them, and they just can't quite seem to pull in the two Shell forwards. So this is a pretty good little battle in midfield.
On board the car number 17, Shell Helix Ford Falcon of Stephen Johnson. That's his teammate Paul Radicic. Some threatening clouds overhead could provide some interesting racing in race 3. This is 37 of 39.
Jason Bargwanna has been having some dramas, guys. The Valvoline Cummins Commodore has developed a misfire. He is on the reserve tank in this car. There's a serious question mark about whether there'll be enough fuel to get his car to the finish of this race.
I don't think it will be, Mark. That's my prediction out of all that. You know, reserve fuel tanks don't usually last more than probably 2 to 3 laps, and although he might, it's questionable, but maybe not, because he's probably had it on for a little while. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the, unfortunately, Tander's car sit out in the dirt somewhere parked before the finish.
RPM Live TV, they had an interesting poll throughout the last couple of weeks on the Murphy-Bargwanna situation, and in the wash-up, 51% say Greg Murphy was using the correct line involved in that Bargwanna crash. 49% say he should have backed off. So that's an interesting little poll coming out of rpmlive.tv. Check it out. You'll get some great broadcast times. And Billy Woods will talk you through exactly what's happening in the world of motorsport, not only at 10 but right around the world. Now the Canberra 400 is round 5 of the championship. We know what that kind of weekend can throw up, just about everything. www.tickettech.com is the web address for your tickets, and the phone number on your screen. That's Saturday 8th and 9th of June, the Canberra 400 throughout the streets of the nation's capital. You'll see it here on Network 10. 17 and 18 car numbers, 17 and 18 still in this pretty good battle involving John Bauer and Stephen Richards. It's worth a look at Stephen Richards throughout this championship, because he's been involved in some great fights from the word go in his first year of the Castrol Perkins Commodore racing team. He finished 4th overall in Adelaide. Had a bad weekend at Phillip Island, but he's always involved in some pretty good scrap midway throughout the field if he's stuck there.
Yeah, he's 6th in the championship points right up to now as a result of, or adding in the points from the 20-minute sprint yesterday. And here's car 35, the car in question on the reserve fuel tank. I want to be on the reserve one. They just tried to run him on the lightest starting fuel load.
Absolutely. You know, as I mentioned to you earlier, when you've got a load of fuel in the back, the car's understeer, and it also punishes the rear tyre. So the lighter the fuel load, the lighter the car, and obviously, you know, the faster it goes and the easier it is on tyres. So you've got to try and cut that as fine as possible. But unfortunately, I think they're a little bit too fine, and we might see Barks pushing the car over the line before the finish.
I reckon he'll get out and do it too, because he had a world championship fight to get that car to the start line. Larry Perkins involved in a spin.
A shunt. Look at the bonnet.
Yeah.
The bonnet's got a huge kink in it, so he's had a hit with something.
Barks just stroking it along. He's going to try and get it home. Minimal throttle. He's on the reserve tank. He hasn't got much left. It's going to be very close for Bargwanna. Car 35. He's running fair way down the field at the moment. He's been losing a ton of time as a result of this fuel shortage. Here, out bump between the Team Kiwi car, Jason Richards.
Larry would be nice and happy with that, wouldn't he? If you know Larry, he goes off and be real pleased.
Watch Jason Richards leave the scene of the crime here in a hurry. Watch this.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like it never happened. He just gets out of the way and shoots past. And Larry Perkins will be breathing fire out his ears after that one. Mark Scaife now comes around on the final lap.
He'd be steaming his glasses up, Matty, not breathing fire.
Up through turns 8 and 9, the Corporate Hill part. Then the right-hander, which is turn 10, back to second gear, 78 kilometres an hour. Marcus Ambrose hasn't let him out of his sight, but he's got something dangling at the back of the Pertec Ford.
Looks like any tape. It's very hard to see, but I hope it's nothing worse than some tape or something underneath the car. But the car looks like it's still running all right, so he should be okay.
It's going to be a case of last man standing. Get across the line first. Scaife comes along the main straight here. He won race 1. He's going to make it 2 out of 2 race victories at the Creek. There he goes. He does it again. 5 out of 6 race wins to start the season, and Mark Scape is well and truly on the way to a record overall win here at the Creek.
So Marcus Ambrose tried hard. He got to within 2.1 seconds in that final fight. Here comes Craig Lowndes.
Holding on for third position. He's fought off Garth Tander, gets along the back marker. That is a good drive, a terrific drive, as Wayne Gardner told us throughout. He's had a hell of a lot of troubles, obviously, with his rear tyres. He was more worried about who was behind him instead of in front of him.
There, like the last sort of 15, 18 laps, you weren't losing anything to Scape or Ambrose.
He's made some improvements since listening to that, so they were working frantically this morning, and as I said, there were springs everywhere and bars and you name it, and they've obviously picked the right package, so they're off in the right direction.
There he is. Mark Scape's done it again. He certainly loves this track, doesn't he? 3 consecutive races. He'll become the first man to win 4 races at one circuit if he can lock it all up here in race 3.
It's not over yet, Matty. It's a long day ahead. I wouldn't just say that just yet.
Another 39 laps to go. This is how they finished. 1, 2 and 3. Scape, Ambrose and Lowndes. Craig Lowndes, a big mover there, moved up 6 positions. Garth Tander holds on for 4. Then Todd Kelly. John Faulkner gets a top 6 finish. Greg Murphy in 7th and Stephen Johnson in 8th. Radicic and Bow make up the top 10.
Stephen Richards, Neil Crompton, Jason Bright, Cameron McConville, Glenn Seaton and Mark Larkham climbed into the top 16.
Position 17 involves Jason Richards, car 021, the team Kiwi, and right down to 20 is Simon Wills. Race 3 is still to come.